What's going on, everybody? Lethal One up here. And guys, let's go ahead and talk about that PlayStation 2021 showcase. More specifically, I want to share with you guys my top 5 HYPEST announcements that were given at the showcase. And again, these are my top 5 HYPEST announcements, reveals, a mixture of both there. I want to know your guys as well down below in the comment section. What were the HYPEST announcements for you guys? Now, we're going to go, I think, 5 to 1, just kind of give a little bit of a ranking of like, you know, really hyped to like, oh my damn god, hype. That's where I'm at with this. All right, let's jump into the very first one, and that's going to be at number 5, starting with Project Eve. Now, this game, I was not expecting this. I don't think a lot of people were expecting this, but for some reason, it's a game that really stuck to me, and I'm like, yo, I'm extremely excited for it. It kind of gave me a vibe of like almost like Heavenly Sword, just because it's like a launch game that no one kind of expected, and it's like this brand new IP, and you're just like, yo, what is this? This looks crazy. But definitely when you seen that, you know, that trailer reveal that they gave, it screamed what, like some DMC, a little bit of Bayonetta. I mean, a little bit, I don't know, sexy. It was a sexy game, right? So like, it felt like some DMC Bayonetta. But then when you look closely at the gameplay, there was some parrying in there, right? Deflecting of attacks, lots of evasion, lots of dodging. And even in the PlayStation blog post, it mentions how important it is to be able to, you know, attack, defend, and evade. And on top of that, you know, this promises some really cool stylish combos. So I'm thinking in my head, this is just like a mix of everything. The story, I don't know, it kind of gave me some Nier kind of vibes a little bit too, right? Going back into like this post-apocalyptic world where the hell is humankind? They're gone. There's these crazy alien villains. I don't even know how you want to go about it, because the design of the enemies in this game are absolutely insane. But I do want to put them as like number 5 for me. For my top 5 announcements, HYPEST announcements. Now, jumping into number 4, this one, of course, had to be Forspoken. This is a game that from the day one, I was extremely excited when I saw that dragon. And we actually get to see a little bit more gameplay, which this game, I don't know how they do it. I mean, it's Square, they're killing it. I mean, I think this is even the team that was behind Final Fantasy 15, because you could see some parallels there in the gameplay. But just the way that Frey, like they just show more of it. The way Frey just kind of like traverses along the mountaintops, rooftops, and just the way it looks, right? It's so freaking beautiful. The combat though, right? I think that's where for me this trailer shined. And of course, what's cool is actually, to be fair, this trailer was more than just the combat. They talked more about Frey's background, right? He looked like, you know, Frey was coming from New York, I think it was, and going into this new world somehow. I don't know. The connection to Frey and going into this world, I think that's the part where like now that's what I'm thinking about. Like, that's the next step. How does she connect to this world? Why is she at this new world? The introduction of all the new characters. You even see, I think it's a big villain at the very end there. I don't know if that's the main villain. But again, going back to even just the combat before we move on here, the combat, oh my god, the different elements. The way the water lurks, the water looks, wow, not lurks. The way the water looks is so freaking sick. The way she expands it, and then it looked like she's pulling out fire from the one enemy and then slashing him. I don't know. And on top of that, she's doing other stuff like shooting rocks from her hands. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And not to mention, hold on, that big ice scene at the end, that was dope. The way she did that, it kind of gave me like Avatar kind of vibes. The hand gestures and emotions. I mean, this game looks absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait. And we even got a release date, which was spring 2022. So I can't wait for that. It looks awesome. All right, jumping into number 3 for me, and that is Wolverine. I know you think, what, that should be number 1, but to be fair, I'll get to number 2 and number 1. To be fair, I'm still hyped for it. Obviously, it still makes my top 3, but Wolverine it's just number 2 and number 1. I wasn't sure we were going to get, and they mean a lot to me. And so 3 does mean a lot to me. In fact, 3, let's just talk about it. 3 is Marvel's Wolverine. I don't know how Insomniac did it. It blows my mind how they continue to just produce more games, and then something brand new now on top of everything that they've been doing. It blows my mind. They took it on Marvel's Wolverine, and I cannot wait. Now, this was really just a teaser. There wasn't anything much to it besides the fact that, yo, it's Wolverine in the bar getting into a fight. Like, that just makes sense. For me personally, for this one, it's kind of like, man, can we potentially see X-Men in here? Like, And I'm not saying you're going to be able to play this. I'm right. That's not the whole point. This is about Wolverine. This is his story. This is a game, a story about Wolverine. Awesome. That's what I want. My thing is, can we see cool little cameos? Like, is this going to take place, pre X-Men days, post X-Men days, a mixture of both? I don't know, but nothing would be cooler than to get little cool cameos of, like, I don't know, Rogue, or I don't know, Jean Grey, Cyclops. I mean, it'd be really cool to just have them have little cameo appearances, maybe even some DLC where you get to maybe play as one of them. I don't know. I would like to see some fun with this, and I grew up at X-Men, so of course this was gonna make my top 5. It was shocking when I saw there was gonna be a Wolverine game that came out of nowhere, which then goes into my number 2. And now number 2, a little bit different here. We're gonna move into God of War Ragnarok. Of course, I knew we were gonna get God of War Ragnarok. I think for me, it was more like I expected a cool trailer. I didn't expect a lot of gameplay, if any. They threw a lot of gameplay at us. Like, look at this. Incredible. The game looks beautiful. It even gave us glimpses of the story. It looks like Atreus is older. A few years have passed by. Again, that information was confirmed in the PlayStation blog, but Atreus is older. He still wants to know more about, well, it makes sense. He wants to know more about his role as Loki. What does that mean? They're still trying to stop Ragnarok. And then you have Freya, who's coming in. They even give a glimpse of her. She's pissed. Makes sense. We all know the events of what happened in God of War before. So it kind of makes sense why she's pissed. They're introducing new characters at the end there. I mean, the gameplay, Kratos with the Chaos Blades, I can't even begin to talk about that. I feel like they're really focusing and putting a lot of effort on the combat in this game, because I felt like something that they were focusing on. The way they were just making this a real important thing to show in this trailer. I felt like a lot of people were not happy because in the past God of War games, just the 2018 one, they felt the combat was lackluster in comparison to, the past. And in my opinion, I felt like they're really trying to push out, hey, we're going to be putting a lot more emphasis on the combat here. And honestly, that is awesome. It makes me glad to see that. And then I guess you can kind of just say, to end it off, Thor, just to put it, Thor's going to be in there. Freya is going to be, I think, a big villain. I mean, at least according to the PlayStation blog, it does seem like Freya is one of the antagonists of the game. They make it sound like there's more than just Freya and Thor, which if you watch the trailer, they mention Odin. And now I don't know what's going to be happening. It's absolutely insane. I'm extremely excited for that. Going now into my number 1, and this is the one that I just did not expect at all. I just felt like it was so soon. That is Spider-Man 2. And more beautifully, I mean, it wasn't a crazy trailer. I didn't even expect that to even make an appearance. Maybe a logo, right? Something like God of War, how they did that one last time. A cool little logo. I thought, they wanted to drop a cool little teaser too. And man, Peter Parker, awesome. I miss Peter Parker. I loved Miles. Miles is not even gone. Miles is also there, and it's Peter Parker and Miles teaming up to take out a baddie, and then it just pans the camera to a voice that you hear throughout the entire trailer, which sounds like Kraven. I wasn't sure, and then it goes ahead into this pitch black alley. Who do you see? And then who do you hear for like a split second? It's Venom. Freaking Venom. I don't know how. I'm extremely excited. I think, if anything, a Kraven and Venom team up is going to be an absolute awesome villains for this game. Well, what's really cool is Miles and Peter are going to be teaming up. I'm curious, though. A lot of people are saying that there's going to be some co-op, but if you read the PlayStation blog post, they did say that, in their own words from the team over at Insomniac, that, hey, this is going to be an epic single-player adventure, which has me thinking there's probably not going to be any co-op. Maybe, who knows? But I feel like the way they worded it that way on purpose. And I personally would like a more single-player experience, just because I don't want them to sacrifice gameplay, for the sake of co-op. I don't want them to have to sacrifice anything in order to, add in some new features, right, to make co-op work and do certain things. I'd much prefer it to stay single-player. Maybe it'll be a thing where you switch back and forth between Miles and Peter. I can see them doing something like that. But what would be really cool, though, is having segments where Peter and Miles are together and you just get to initiate maybe these cool team-up attacks or something, maybe some cool quick-time events. I have no idea. I just know it's going to be insane. And then you have Venom. I love Venom, and so now Venom gets tossed in. Kraven will just be cool. Who else would they add in? I gotta breathe. I gotta breathe for a second here. Yeah, that's my top 5. Project Eve, Forspoken, Marvel's Wolverine, God of War Ragnarok, and then the surprise for me that I just didn't expect to happen was Spider-Man 2. It's Insomniac. I've said it before, but Insomniac, I know their back is hurting. I don't know how they're doing it, but they're just MVPing it for PlayStation. They're just killing it. That studio, man, I don't know how they do it. But guys, those are my top 5 most hype announcements from the PlayStation 2021 showcase. Let me know down below what yours was. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed the content, maybe go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I am trying to grow with this new content, so I'd appreciate it a lot. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I'm Lethal1Up, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.